Hello and welcome back to the channel. So while the world is focusing on so much foolishness and nonsense, the earth is heating up and climate change caused by humans is to blame. This climate change thing is something that's very real. A lot of people don't believe it exists, but guess what? It actually lines up with what the Bible says will be happening in the last days. It says that the earth is going to be scorched with fire from the sun. This has been prophesied. So right now we are in spring, very close to mid-May, but we are starting to experience summer weather patterns already. This has been a very strange beginning of the year because we had some cold temperatures that were just lingering, and then it just leaped right over to this hot weather. This whole week has been unseasonably hot, and they have given an explanation to what is happening, and it is called climate change, which was prophesied. So anyway, I'm going to let you listen to this report. It's going to highlight what is happening, and many of us have been experiencing. I've seen people talking about how hot it's been in their areas, but this report is going to explain exactly what is happening. So take a listen, and I will be right back.
After baking the state of Texas, an early season heat wave is poised to shatter temperature records across the central and northeastern sections of the United States in the next few days. Unusually hot weather, with temperatures expected to top 100 degrees Fahrenheit throughout a broad stretch of the country, will affect millions of Americans from Texas to Maine and serve as yet another wake-up call as to the mounting evidence of climate change. The heat wave will produce temperatures that are 15 to 25 degrees above average. In most cases, temperatures this high have not been experienced since September or August last year, AccuWeather said on its website. On Saturday, heat records were toppled in the Texas cities Del Rio, San Angelo, and Abilene, with the thermometer registering 112 degrees in some locations. At the weekend, San Antonio notched its earliest consecutive 100-degree days on record, the Weather Channel reported. The oppressive heat has been exacerbated by stifling humidity. Not only will high humidity result in increased discomfort during the day, but unusually warm nights that are also more typical for July, Dan DePodwin, head of AccuWeather's forecasting operations, said. As the heatwave pushed north and east from the Great Plains, daytime temperatures in cities like Chicago were hotter than those recorded in Death Valley, California. While the singular cause of individual heatwaves can be difficult to attribute to climate change, their growing frequency has been linked to the buildup of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Unusually hot days and multi-day heat waves are a natural part of day-to-day variation in weather. As the Earth's climate warms, however, hotter than usual days and nights are becoming more common and heat waves are expected to become more frequent and intense, the Environmental Protection Agency says on its website. What is also clear is that as average temperatures continue to rise thanks to climate change, they intensify each individual event. Every heatwave in the world is now made stronger and more likely to happen because of human-caused climate change, Friedrich Otto, a climate scientist at Imperial College of London's Grantham Institute, told the AFP. A study published last year's record-breaking heatwave in the Pacific Northwest, for instance, concluded that it was virtually impossible that it would have occurred without human-caused climate change. The arrival of May temperatures in the U.S. normally not registered until late June or early July is analogous to the early scorching heat wave that has gripped parts of Pakistan and India, which experienced its hottest March on record and the hottest April in 122 years. The trendline for warmer global temperatures has continued. The last 7 years have been the hottest 7 in recorded history, according to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. That excess heat has played a major role in droughts across the globe, such as the one that has worsened across the American Southwest. A United Nations report released Wednesday found that, thanks to rising temperatures attributable to climate change, the number and frequency of droughts on the planet have increased by 29% in the past 22 years. The problem is that rising temperatures speed up the rate of evaporation and disrupt normal weather patterns. Unless mankind can either quickly wean itself from fossil fuel sources of energy, or develop ways to suck carbon from the atmosphere, the years to come will almost certainly be hotter than the previous ones.
Okay, so in this article, did you all notice that they are literally admitting that mankind is the cause for this climate change? See, one thing y'all need to understand that when something is prophesied, it doesn't mean that mankind doesn't have anything to do with it coming into fruition. There are many prophecies throughout the Bible where it has been stated that something is going to happen at the hands of mankind. And it did, right? And so the heating up of the earth is yet another thing. The Most High, He lives in eternity. We live within time. So when we see things, we are looking at, things from a totally different perspective than how He sees it. Because He operates from eternity, He was able to look through time and see what man would do to the planet to destroy it. And thus, this is where the prophecies come from when He, enlightens His prophets and tells them, hey, this is what the future is going to look like. And that future is based on many actions that mankind has committed. So the heating up of the earth being prophesied is definitely something that we are starting to witness. We're starting to see it. And they say that it's getting worse and worse. So in the coming years and decades, who knows what the earth will look like? Who knows what will become of a lot of people and what the situation we're going to be facing. It's unfortunate that too many people are focusing on foolishness and nonsense to even pay attention to the fact that 5 years from now, their lives might look totally different than anything they've ever seen. How are you preparing for next year or the year after or the next 5 or 10 years? Of course, I don't mean in the sense of, what the Bible tells us not to worry about things. It says, take no thought for tomorrow. That means don't worry about tomorrow, right? But think about the time where the Pharaoh had the dream that the droughts were coming, right? The Most High actually used Joseph to tell them what to do in the future. He says, during the 7 years of plenty, prepare by storing up for the 7 years of drought that would follow. So they were taking thought for the future, but essentially what that passage means when it says take no thought for tomorrow, it means don't worry, don't fret, don't do all of this. But if you know something is going to happen, prepare. Do like they did in the Bible days when Joseph told the Pharaoh what to do to prepare for the 7 years of drought. And so essentially what we are saying is that people need to understand. Sorry about that, family. So essentially what we are saying is that people need to take a look at what's happening now, take a look at prophecy, and apply that to their lives where they need to apply it. Because there is definitely something changing in the world, and things are changing fastly. This stuff is not to be ignored. This should not be put on the list of optional things to think about. As a matter of fact, some of that other stuff that you're thinking about, scoot that off to the side and think about your future and the future of your family. How does it look? How will it look if you prepare? Make a comparison, y'all. How will your future look if you prepare properly? And how will it look if you just ignore things? Think about that for a moment. All right, y'all, I'm done with this video. In the comment section below, please share your thoughts. Remember to keep it tight and keep it right, but until next time. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.